Hello, my dear friends. You are watching your weekly astrology horoscope for the very first week of May. The first thing we need to consider is that Pluto has just turned retrograde, and on Saturday we had a solar eclipse. So basically, at the beginning of the week, we may still feel this intense energy coming from the stationary phase of Pluto and the solar eclipse. However, we are already moving into the first phase of the lunar cycle. And also this time it happens to be part of this eclipse corridor between two eclipses. So it's a nice time to get active, to do something, to initiate, to participate in something in the external world. After all, this first phase of the lunar phase is very supportive for this, to engage with the outer world. We also have one ingression during this week. Venus is moving to Aries, which is a pretty significant shift, which we will discuss. And also we have 4 sextiles this week, which I find very interesting. The sextile is an aspect which is generally very harmonious, very positive, and it brings opportunities. But what's important also to consider about the sextile is that we need to do something about it. So it's not like we are staying on our couch and, a wonderful opportunity manifests out of nowhere and we don't need to do anything about it. Usually this isn't how things work. And especially with the sextile, yes, the circumstances might be right. Yes, you may even have some kind of luck or intuition that will guide you, but you need to participate. You need to do something about it. So it's important to consider this. There can be very nice opportunities for us this week, but we also need to be active and pursue them and engage again with the outer world. So let's get started with Monday. On Monday, we actually have the ingression, which happens this week, Venus moving to Aries. Venus doesn't feel very comfortable in Aries. Venus can be over emotional, not very balanced, sometimes can exaggerate her feelings, her emotions, and overall diplomacy, compromises are not so common when Venus is in Aries. So from one side, this can bring excitement and a more adventurous spirit, and can also, especially if we need a little bit of an energy boost to pursue our desires or to be more active or express our desires in relationships. Yes, Venus can really help about this by moving to Aries. But also keep in mind, you might be a little too impulsive when you are triggered by your emotions. You might be a little harsher with people. And what is interesting that Venus in Aries can be harsher with the people she loves more than with random, insignificant people. So be mindful about this, how you're treating the people you love. And try to focus again on the more constructive side of this position, which is to be enthusiastic, to take action on your desires, to also defend your position if that's necessary in relationships with other people. So this will be kind of like a major background energy for the next couple of weeks when Venus will be in Aries. Specifically on Monday, Venus is having also one minor challenging aspect with Uranus. So it's possible that there could be something surprising, unexpected, things may not go as planned. So it may also feel very exciting and, different in a positive way. So try not to control everything or stick to a very rigid schedule. Instead, you can experiment, try something new. In relationships, for example, it's a great time to go to a place, for example, with your partner that you haven't been before, like to experiment a little bit. Also on Monday, one more aspect, minor challenging aspect between Mars and Pluto. This can create more intensity, can bring more intensity, and it's possible that we may have some minor confrontations with people or arguments or even some kind of struggles. On the other side, this is an aspect which can bring more motivation to do something, to take action. So use it in this way if you can. Direct this energy into something that you are really passionate about, something that's really meaningful. And the moon in Gemini supports communication, connection with people, working on some kind of ideas, and also supports and brings more variety in our day. Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have actually the most interesting aspect this week, a sextile between Jupiter and Pluto. Those are planets which are pretty slow, so we rarely have any aspects between them. So when this happens, it is a big deal. And it is a sextile, so it's a nice harmonious aspect which can bring opportunities. And here it's very important to be clear about our goals. What are we pursuing? What is really important for us? And Pluto can help with bringing more commitment and more energy that we can invest into our goals, into pursuing whatever seems really important at this time. So Tuesday is a great time to think bigger. I mean, to think about major things that you want to accomplish, major things that you want to transform, major things that will improve your life and make you feel better. So yeah, it can be a great time for some serious planning, self-exploration, and even goal setting. Jupiter and Pluto, when they are working together in a harmonious way, they can really help us to expand, especially when it comes to something which is important, which is valuable. So again, concentrate on the bigger things in your life. And on Tuesday, again, we have a minor challenging aspect between the Sun and Jupiter. So keep in mind that you might be a little distracted, or you may try to focus on too many things. So it's nice to set your priorities and really decide like what is the most important and to concentrate your energy there. Not to start with doing the minor things because they may take more time than you expect, and then you may end up not having time or energy for the really important stuff. So prioritization on Tuesday is very important. And the moon is still in Gemini, so communication, planning, connection with other people, some kind of intellectual work can also be supported. On Wednesday, we have another sextile, this time between Mars and Uranus. This is a great time to do something in a new, original way, to innovate, to experiment, to be brave. Not in a reckless way, not in a potentially dangerous way. When we have a sextile, the energy is more harmonious. So we don't expect some kind of major shocking events, but we can expect something different and something new. Opportunity, idea. Of course, for everybody, it can work differently. But my advice is open for something new. Open your mind, take some action also. Mars really likes to take some action. And you might be surprised from the results you will receive. They can be very inspiring and creative. The moon is in Gemini most of the day until 7 p.m. So the mind is still very active. Communication may be also very active and exciting. And after 7 p.m., the moon will shift to Cancer. So in the evening, we may take more time for ourselves or for our families, or to relax, or just to pay more attention to what makes you feel comfortable. Then on Thursday, we have a pretty, again, exciting, dynamic, adventurous combination. The sun will join Uranus in Taurus. So prepare for even bigger surprises, for even more exciting things and opportunities and changes. And it's a great time also to look into your own life and decide, where are you ready to make changes? Where would you like to make changes? And also, where do you need to try something new, to experiment, to innovate? So it is possible also to feel some tension. So Uranus can bring tension, especially for the nervous system. There could be some irritation. People may respond in unexpected, even shocking ways. So be prepared for that. And by people, sometimes this may actually be you, not only other people, of course. So be mindful about this. But you know what is my experience showing? When we resist to make the changes consciously, to use the energy in a constructive, creative way, it doesn't mean that you have to invent like a new type of engine or something huge. It could be something minor. It still counts. But if we resist this, then Uranus starts to work in the more destructive way, which is, again, on an inner level, bringing tension, for some people anxiety, irritability, and all of those things. So commit to do even one minor change in your life this week, and especially on Thursday. Moon in Cancer on Thursday is a position which can make us more sensitive, more emotional. We may take things more personally. So again, be careful how you treat the people you love, and what is the response you will receive. Friday. On Friday, we have a sextile between Mercury and Venus. And this is a pretty nice aspect for communication with people you love, with friends, with your partner, with your kids, and to share your feelings, to share your emotions, to share your desires. So communication is very important at this point, to communicate your feelings, your expectations, your desires. This is very important. And it doesn't apply only to personal relationships. This aspect can be very helpful also for business negotiations, for making compromises, for, finding the balance between the mind and the heart. Like to analyze things with your mind, to, do it the regular way we analyze. But then also to check in with your feeling about whatever you want to do or whatever you want to accomplish. And also check not only what is the rational mind thinking about something, but also how you feel about it. And when there is a sextile, we can find the balance between those. We don't need to reject one of those. So yeah, it's an interesting aspect. For dates, for meeting new people, it's just amazing. The moon in Cancer still allows us to be more sensitive, more open to other people's emotions. Again, great time to spend it with family and people we love. On Saturday, we have another one of those magical sextiles that we are having this week, this time between the Sun and Mars. Two masculine, fire, very active planets. So we can be especially motivated to do something, to create something. It's a wonderful time for playing some games, sports, some activities outside, something that also energizes the physical body, and for taking some appropriate risks and actions. On top of that, the moon is in Leo, so also fiery, active position. So on Saturday, we can be especially energized and motivated to do something, and it's actually a great idea to do things and to even to do something for the first time, to initiate something. And finally, on Sunday, we don't have any major aspects besides the ones triggering the moon. The moon will be in Leo, so it's a time when we can express ourselves, when we can be creative, spontaneous, playful, enthusiastic. But keep in mind that the moon is having a square with Uranus and the sun. So we might be also surprised by something, or we may take something too personally, or we may respond in a little bit more like impulsive way. So just keep it in mind, take your time to make your decisions, don't rush too much into something, but overall focus on the things that bring you joy. So that, my friends, is our weekly horoscope. Keep in mind also that the week after we will have Mercury turning retrograde. So if you have some important work to do, something that you really want to start, important conversation you need to have, or any other major thing like a big purchase, for example, it might be better to try to do it this week, because after that, when Mercury turns retrograde, we know that things can get a little bit more complicated. So thank you so much for joining me. If you want more astrology, you can go to marsstars.net and you will find many other free tutorials, also astrology readings, something new, which I will announce very soon as well, a new opportunity. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you very soon.